in I'm not sure where I heard it. I might have got it out of a book. But it's a story from the Shetland Islands, and it's a story of the Great White Sea. And those of you who've been up the west coast of Scotland may just possibly have caught sight of the Great White Sea. I first saw it in a little book, the Observer's Book of Birds, coming through. And it was full of those wonderful old Victorian pictures of birds, and somehow that was a different world, And there it was on the cliffs, this massive creature with the white tail. And it is the biggest, I think it's the biggest hunting bird in Europe, it's certainly in Scotland. And there was one scene on a farm near where I live in Dumfriesshire, amazingly, just a few months ago, it turned up in someone's farm. Anyway, the story comes from the Isle of Unst in Shetland, and it was about this time of year when people were cutting the hay on Unst. The Andersons on their croft were cutting the hay, and across from their croft was the Isle of Fetla, and the blue banks of Fetla ran as clean over the North Sea. And on those great banks, the white-tailed eagle built its nest. And William Anderson and his wife were cutting the hay, and they had the baby on one arm, and William found that cutting using the scythe with one hand was really difficult. In fact, it was plain stupid. You were likely to take your boot off, maybe the foot with it. So he said to his wife, he said, I'm just going to put the baby here in this stoop, and there were the sort of sheaves. Well, maybe it was a barn they were cutting. Or maybe it was just yes, it was one of those things, what do they call it, where you put the hay over, I can't remember what it's called. But it makes a big mound. And anyway, they stuck the baby in there.